Hello, good people of YouTube. This is Travis Semulin Sowers, and we're approaching the twilight of Strixhaven. The format is winding down. We know what the bombs are. We know what the good removal spells are. We know what cards are traps. We know what strategies are a good idea. And I thought it would be fun to do a couple Strixhaven drafts and just sort of say goodbye to this format together. It is, of course, a best of 3 traditional draft on MTG Arena. If you like the video that you're watching, please do consider subscribing to the channel. That will help us grow. All right, then. You can also check out the Twitch stream at www.twitch.tv/Semulin. I'm thinking about eliminate and cards that aren't eliminate. The thing with eliminate is I want to play it in Dimir. I don't really want to play it in Silverquill. But I can. There's also Travis' theory that Lorehold will open up for me if I just try real hard and believe in myself. But, I mean, this is Eliminate. It kills fractals. It kills stuff early game. It kills stuff late game. This has proven itself to be fantastic. I think Eliminate is better here than it was in the core set where it was originally printed. Because it was just kill a little thing there. But here it's like kill a little thing or kill a bloody fractal. And here's where it all starts to get wacky for me. Because we got us this here Cultivate, which sounds like Eliminate. And they kind of could go hand in hand. We could take the Cultivate, we could spin the Deadly Brew, we could splash a thing. Or we could take this Heated Debate. A lot of 8s. Somebody was hungry when they were designing this set. And I know that the green-black removal spells are better than Heated Debate. That's not necessarily the question here. The question is, are people going to be avoiding Lorehold to the point that I have to draft it? That said, I'm going to take the Cultivate because it's the correct pick. And if we're going to say goodbye to the format, I should try to draft it proper. Proper-like. Well, hello there. How are you doing? There's also an Arcane Subtraction. But this is kind of putting me of the mindset that I could take us here Blood Researcher and potentially go somewhere. I mean, I don't love committing to a school this early, but what are we missing here? Unless we're going to go on Lorehold theory and not really missing much. This is the pack where we should know for sure what is open. And it looks like it's blue. All right, I like to party. This could put us right back into Dimir spells. It could put us into Quandrix. It could conceivably put us into Sultai things. But this should not be here. Creative Outburst is about where maybe it should be. Thank you, John. And good morning, Orcish Artillery. Well, I like Divide by Zero. This is where I see like a pest summons, and I'm like, okay, let's do it. But I haven't been able to get an actual Dimir deck together for some time, actually. It's been difficult. Divide by 0.8, really not doing it for you? I used to say that drafts started at pick 5, and I think there's probably still something to that. It's like, what's here that just absolutely shouldn't be? Not bloody much, eh? There's a possibility that I'm supposed to be going Prismari. Hello, Dave. It's a bit earlier than I like to take introduction, but I'm not ready to commit to any of this stuff just yet. Give me one more pack. Okay. So I do like Fumes. I don't like not really having any learn besides the divide by 0. But it is starting to look like black is at least open. Well, well, well. So the question is it too late to abandon literally everything we've done and go for Prismari, because it looks like that's what we're supposed to be doing now? And let's find out. And then Witherbloom Apprentice. Okay. Never mind. I think we're going to ignore the Prismari signals and just buckle in on this. This does mean like a Scrounge for Specimens would go pretty high up on our list now. Unglued, thank you for the resub. Y'all spam some cats for Unglued. Thank you very much. I wouldn't call this a powerful start. We did spin the Deadly Brew, and I talked about that might happen. So we're going to take it, not the Spell Satchel. I'm glad it doesn't select on pick. I was a little off on my targeting there. I like Deadly Brew. I can like Infuse with Vitality, although it's a pretty crappy combat trick to play with this. We'll probably see more, and if I see a few of the things that want to be sacrificed, like Damogoth Woe Eaters, I might be very interested in a Village Rites. Agonizing Remorse I will just play happily. So this is coming together, and there's the Infuse with Vitality if we want it. So I think we kind of figured out what we're doing, and we do have a splash option available as well with Cultigrate. It's got Mage Hunter's Onslaught, which will give us additional removal options, which I dig. I don't think we want to shift mid-game into Quandrix for Body of Research. I've already got 2 lessons and no real way to get them. So Scrounge for Specimens or whatever, Hunt for Specimens, I think is pretty high up there on the list of cards we're very interested in. I also don't feel compelled to play this Cultivate. I don't really have anything to ramp to. Now, if we get something to ramp to and or something that I'm like, yes, we're splashing this, then all of a sudden the Cultivate comes back in. I mean, if you're short playables, you can always play it. It's like a weird divination. There's a Day of Judgment. I wasn't quite ready to see that. But all it really means is that people in this player isn't playing white. That's all we know. I've been talking about Hunt for Specimens, and that's actually what we need. It does make me sad to see the Past Caller and the Day of Judgment going by, because I really like both of those cards, and they would be good in the Lorehold decks I usually draft, but that's not what we're doing today. We are Witherblooming, so I'm going to take a Hunt for Specimens. I'm not happy to be picking it there, but I'm happy to be getting it in the deck. And I do think we're going to see good Lorehold cards go by this way, and it makes me sad, but we'll deal with it. Some of them I could splash. The double white pips, I don't think I could. Expanded Anatomy could be useful. I'm beginning to get into the market for a Leyline Invocation. Because if I could pick up an Invocation and a Field Trip, I could play the Cultivate and have kind of this backup plan of large things. Oh, God. Ugh. Every single time I don't go Lorehold, I just end up passing a nutty Lorehold deck. I mean, I'm not unhappy to be picking up good lessons, but okay. Again, nutty Lorehold deck continues to go by. But our plan apparently is Blood Researchers, Pledge Mages, kill some stuff. And mortgage the farm to buy a few more Hunt for Specimens. I'm trying to remember the last time I saw the little Gateway dude. Gateway Vine or whatever it is. Overgrown Arch. Can't remember the name of it. The 0/4 green wall. Okay, this is a good sign. So I'm guessing we've got teamer players poaching some of the green because there's clearly nobody in our color pair, which is great, but also bloody terrifying. But I'm not going to say no to putrefy. There's a few artifacts you would want to blow up, not many, but this is mostly just instant speed, kill the thing. Okay. Okay. Now we're starting to talk. There's my Woe Eater, which all of a sudden makes me interested in potentially infused with Vitality and Village Rites as beginning to become playable cards. Now, I don't want to get into a version of this that's playing the ingredient, but I may have to. I'm beginning to feel a bit more comfortable. I could sort of see playing a Wrangler if I have to. It's probably currently in. And I'm not too proud to play a Servan, again, if I have to. I'm wondering if you splash for a Divide by 0 just to get access to more of these. I think the answer is probably no. I'd take the letter just to open up more options in the last pack. Maybe I'm sandwiched between a Silver Quill Drafter, a couple of Silver Quill Drafter, a Silver Quill Drafter and a Quandrix Drafter, which means I'm not getting black or green cards, but I'm getting exactly black-green cards. Might explain some things, eh? I'll go ahead and let the Lorehold player be rewarded. It's not easy being Lorehold, so they should get a reward for it. Alright, so we've got a Demonic Tutor in our colors. We've got a Quandrix command, which I could splash. But I kind of just can't say no to this regrowth. I think we'd also be quite interested in a Professor Bear at some point. But once I started thinking of this as Demonic Tutor, I've recognized the power in the card. There's another Woe Eater. I want that. Okay, so now I just take every 2-drop I see and we've got a real deck. I guess I just want 3 more Hunt for Specimens and we're done. There's one. Just kidding, there's not one. I would quite like a Spectre of the Fens in this deck, but I think I might like the Callous Blood Mage more. All of this is relevant text. It's generally a 2/1 that's going to draw you a card, which is fine by me. But having the option to exile somebody's graveyard is nice and flexible. Potentially even the option to make an extra pest token. There's a bloody another Eliminate, which I like, and I want, but I do not have enough 2-drops. And I'm scared that if I don't take one here, it is going to put me in danger. And normally, I would be windmill slamming this pest summoning, but you may notice I've only got one way to get it. Good morning, Tommy. I hope we're not... Oh, this is not this guy. I thought it was the Promising Dusk Mage. Because I have one learn spell, right? Do I even have one learn spell? Yeah, I have this. That's it. I think that means we just take another removal spell. This pack's a bit of a crushing disappointment. Eliminate kind of is a 2-drop, but this can, like, I want to be able to do something in a scenario. Yeah, Lash will cover us here, and we're going to take the Lash. I'd like to have creature 2-drops that can come down and attack if my opponent is stumbling. We got the lessons, we just didn't get to learn. That's weird. I do think I can play the Village Rites with 2 Woe Eaters. I also can't sacrifice a Lash of Malice or an Eliminate to my Deadly Brew. I'm too short playables not to take this Researcher. I want the Witherbloom Campus, but I think we're going to need to play this. Well, if I'm playing that, all of a sudden I do have enough room for this. Okay. Alrighty. I want this. I want it a lot, but I can't take it. No, I can't take it. I got to take this field trip. I've got too many lessons not to have access to them. If it spins, I might take it. So I suspect this is just better than the Servan. And so I will take it and cut the Servan. I don't need any of this. This worked out. I've played Adventurous Impulse before in decks that had some sort of Magecraft trigger and were going to be pretty heavy green. So I don't hate this. I think I might run that. God, I'd have to run it over a swamp, though. I don't want to run it over a swamp. Oh, we're not going to get it in the past, but I've already got 4 good lessons. So I'm pretty happy with that. I don't know if I want to run Adventurous Impulse in this deck. Yeah, it is. It doesn't make the card worse. It just makes it look worse via comparison. I don't think I want to run it. I think there's enough card draw hidden in here that I should just take it. I wish I could have taken that last Woe Eater, but it was in the same pack as Field Trip, and that's not reasonable. Just not reasonable. Let's get our mana nice and pretty. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Select the appropriate sleeve, which in this case is obviously Killian. Mock the card. It can whiff, it just doesn't often. All right, so we're going to do this, and I think we can start our Stream Raiders battle and then see if I've got anything here. There are 8 of us. So I wouldn't call this perfect. For those of you watching on YouTube, this is indeed our first draft of the day. And the Avengers are beginning to assemble. I don't know if we can actually kill those bats without any ranged units. Okay, it looks like we can attack them. That is good news. With only 8 of us, we have managed a victory for Upfish. Me with the kills, Shademere with the assists, rewards for Orcish Artillery. Right-a-rooney then. Let's see what we can do here. Hello, Zombob. Thanks again for that resub, Unglued. That puts us up to 236, which is a fantastic place to be. All right, I wouldn't call that perfect, but it'll work. That's neat. These aren't the same forest. I like it. Jay Marty, thank you for the gift subs. Wow. Y'all spam mini cats for Jay Marty. Thank you very much, my friend. I think we probably instant speed this. Thank you very much, Marty. I mean, if they got a combat trick, it's worse, but... This lets me play the Woe Eater and have village rights up. I think we were pleased with this. I can also get an Inkling Summonings to block that eventually. Alright, not gonna lie, the Killian's a little scary. We're gonna see if we can outvalue him here. Thank you again very much, Jay Marty. That puts us at 241. What did they pick? Create a Inkling flying creature token. Okay. I guess it doesn't make much sense to have me sacrifice that dude, eh? All right, so we've got things to get rid of. Deadly Brew probably kills the 2-1, which is a fine start. If we're ever going to Agonizing Remorse, this would be the turn to do it, and then I could regrowth. And that leaves me taking 6 damage. I can probably recover from that. All right, so there's a Heated Debate and a Pillar Drop Rescuer. I don't think I can beat the Rescuer. Skip the Brew and Eliminate instead. We'll regrowth back the Eliminate, and then I think be like Stable Adjacent, right? Oh, you're saying skip the Brew this turn. I mean, it takes the same stuff off the board. I guess it makes more sense because we're doing that. Yeah, I think that's a better line, Dave. Yeah, I think that's a better line. I can just hunt for specimens this. I could even just kill that now if my mana had tapped the way I wanted it to, but I'm going to feel pretty comfortable with this Introduction to Annihilation in hand. What's up, McFrosty? No, I do not plan to stream Magic all day. You might note the stream title. It says exactly what I plan to do. No, I did it perfectly, Zombob. It was the auto tapper that messed up. I checked. It's okay, Frosty. I was messing with you a little bit. I kind of don't want to play the Blood Researcher until I can protect it with the Infuse with Vitality. Because they're going to kill it as soon as I play it, and it's probably one of my better threats at the moment. Like, it's still just a 2-2, but I do have some life gain we could draw. And being at 6 is a little more comfortable. We may as well play around and go blank from here. Like when they are turned. I think we have one spot left in the Pick Your Chaos draft this afternoon. So if there's anybody that needs a little chaos in their day. I'm a little nervous that they were in the same draft and have the Day of Judgment. But we will see. This one is Chaos where each player picks what pack they want to bring. It can't be the remastered set, sadly. But anything else is good. I can't get a Magecraft trigger to kill him, right? I just got to put him at 1 because I can't cast any of this. They don't. It's a random assortment of the 8 packs that we've picked. I thought it was moving day. You've got to move. I could kill my pest for lethal. I could do that. But I don't think we need to. Okay, so they're actually not just an aggressive Silverquill deck. They're full-on Mardu. Mardu Spellcraft with infinite 2-drops. So I don't really need any more late game stuff. I need things that can block 2-drops or kill 2-drops. So Springmantle Servant's actually looking a little better than the Karok Wrangler at the moment. The Agonizing Remorse was pretty handy there. I think you're supposed to keep that. Because just kind of knowing what they're up to would be useful. You can get a little bit of, tell a little bit about their attitude from the sleeves they're using. They want to go face. It's probably the best I can get it because I don't think I want a promising Dunk Mage. There's some argument on the draw to play the Adventurous Impulse anyway, but if I'm cutting my only Magecraft dude, I don't think I need to. This hand only needs to draw way too many cards to be keepable. This one I can do something with. Blarg! It be Blarg! Blarg! Man, it's a lot of fun to say Blarg! Blarg! I saw that on Twitter the other day, Dave. It was a little scary. Actually, I saw it on Twitter this morning. I don't think they're blocking this, but if they do, that'd be swell. No rummage. I think we get this fella going first. I do need to kill that Plarg. Yeah, let's just be a grown-up and kill that Plarg. And then next turn I can play the Blood Researcher and Regrowth and at least get a counter on it. I think the counter is worth waiting a turn. There's also a possibility we go Pledge Mage and then run these out a turn later because I'm not really under a lot of pressure right now. Okay. Not quite sure what that attack was about. But I'll happily take 2 for this because I'm going to gain half of it back and then I can block after we've got our counters and be a lot less worried about it. Or I can just block it with this. That seems great. I guess I'm not really playing around Go Blank, holding exactly 2 cards. All right, I'm ready for you to show me what you got. It was a mark. They had a mark. They have to have something else. That doesn't make any sense. Morning, Aaron. Could potentially just regrowth this. This is fine. I'm not particularly in a hurry. Just being a bluffing god, maybe. You have fixed arena? Huzzah! Oh yeah, I moved it down for the Invitational last night and forgot to move it back. I should probably have a separate scene for the Invitational. It's not very nice. I was going to use that. Okay. All the cards are on the table, as they say. Got your first place in Storybook. Congratulations. Alright, so I can get back anything I want. Mage Hunter's Onslaught looks pretty good. I kind of don't feel like I need anything right this second, though, because I can just cast this, get a land, gain a couple life, get a flyer to start pressuring them with, and be pretty comfortable. Oh, I don't mind if they're doing that. We're still incredibly stable. I just don't really need to regrowth any of this. I say there's a world where that has to die, and given that I've got regrowth in hand to deal with another problem, I think we just go ahead and snipe it. Ward pay 1 life is a lot less scary. I do need to play my land here so we can start the scry train. Last night was good. I made a mistake in round 1, and it was against Kanata, who I've never beaten in those events. It was funny, but I've always said if you're going to play in a tournament, the best finish is to win the whole thing. The second best finish is to lose the first round. So I got to play some Hunt Showdown with Dave and hang out with some wife some. It was a good evening. I don't mind another Blood Researcher. There's some possibility that if they don't play something I need to kill here, that we just regrowth the field trip, get an expanded anatomy, and do the thing. Because that cuts our clock a lot lower here. Well, now I don't even have to do that to get it. Because this will kill in just 2 more turns. Or 0 more turns. Were you asking, Frosty, because you want to see more Storybook Brawl? I'm planning to play more, although I suspect my playing will go down a bit when the D&D set comes out next week. I still enjoy the game, but like I'm hoping I'm really going to enjoy the D&D set. Yeah, I expect we'll be playing some today. Oh. Do we have enough people to stream raid? We're not quite there. Looks like not a set of magic. Everything I've seen looks like it's going to be possible to play 10 color pairs. Which feels like more of a set of magic than Strixhaven to me. I mean, it has creatures and spells, right? Y'all just being silly. I think of the dungeons kind of more as like a value thing. Like imagine a creature that can scry or something. That does something when it attacks, like it's a minor effect. But I haven't looked at everything yet. I will when John and I start doing the preview next week or review next week. I like getting rewarded for things. Well, I could deal with the Archmage. I could not currently deal with that. Don't like defensive combat tricks, but I don't have much of a choice. I mean, we'll know the answers to all of these things in a week or two, eh? Pretty far behind here. These lands aren't helping. You might. Uh-oh. This is scary. If I block the other way, we don't at least trade. Again, not that this is great, because now I'm stuck regrowthing before this happens. And I think I need to regrowth the Onslaught. Because we got a combat trick fan over here. So regrowthing the Pledge Mage is planning to draw more spells. Regrowthing and it could conceivably hold back both of these. I think that's what I have to do. I am not pleased with this line, but this is the line we're being given. Because currently I can at least block everything that's here. I do need to draw like a champion to get out of it. But I could do that. Yeah, there's a lot of people who like the new way that drafting has started to go. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just those of us that have played for a long time, it's been like, eh. All right, I need the card. Let's go. Yeah! That's what we needed. It's interesting, the sets that have powered down constructed still feel like they have powered up limited. Just a really interesting perspective. All right, if we can rip a spell or two, we might have something here. Why do they have my Professor Bears? I wanted Professor Bears. Got us a good old-fashioned board stall, but the card advantage is clearly in their court. They've got a Scryland, a Looter, and Magecraft draw a card. My experience, Prolus, has been that because of cards snowballing a little bit like that, it'll get to the point where the person who gets ahead a little bit wins. I do like the idea of having more game, but I've kind of seen it go in a cycle where way back in the day, there were so many activated abilities on the board that it was difficult to tell what's going on. And we've moved here where, like, that's not the case. This is the only thing that has an activated ability on this board. Instead, things are just powerful. Like, you're just like casual, ginormous creature. I don't even know what to do about that. I'm very close to needing to cast this without value, and I do not particularly care for that. I'm going to give it one more turn, but I'm a little scared we're going to die here. Because they're just going to, like, there's some burn spell in their deck or something. Some male humans are called Tom. Yeah, Lorwyn's a good example of that. But it almost seems to me, Brolus, when they weren't designing with limited in mind, is what made the best limited formats for me. But it's okay for different people to like different things. I still have a soft spot in my heart for Mirage, and that was definitively not designed to be drafted. Or technically, I think it was the first set designed to be drafted. But as far as power level goes, it was all over the place. And I enjoyed that. I think I need to get, I'm not sure whether I need to, which of these I need to get rid of. I mean, both is the answer. Okay, neither is the answer. Set review will be next week. We're planning on Tuesday, although I'm still not quite sure when the set releases on Arena or when the full spoiler will be, or card image gallery will be out. But yeah, we're planning on doing it Tuesday, like I think John said 10 or 11. I think if they kill this, we're dead. But I'll double check. I guess it's not technically dead, but it's mostly dead. They're up 5 cards over me. So the best blocks I could get would probably be this, and that puts me dead. So, okay, yeah, I think we're actually dead. Well, we could do that and go to 1. That sort of seems like we might be able to recover. I'll be putting it up on YouTube as well, Richard, so if you miss it, it'll be real nice and easy to go back and watch. That's a lot of combat tricks, but I guess that makes sense when you've got the Archmage Emeritus. Let's do our Stream Raiders battle and then consider some sideboard options. I'm going to sideboard while that's happening because I want to see if there's anything here we need. What I really needed was just to hit removal a little better. But there's not much I can do for that. I can take out a forest for the Adventurous Impulse on the draw pretty comfortably. That gives me a little bit better chance at hitting action. But I think that was just a bit of a flood for us. It was them having an aggressive start and us finally stabilizing, but we had to use removal on their value creatures. You should send him an email, Wallet. That's a pretty good idea. Orcish with the kills, Dave with the assists, rewards for Rice and Artillery. Oop. I'm convinced that there's anything else we can really use here. Because they've kind of got stinker creatures, but if I can't interact with them early, they can potentially run me over. I'm wondering about bringing in the Servant again, just to block something. It does seem like it trades profitably with a good bit of their things. So the must kills are the Professor, which could be blocked. But realistically, the Quandrix Pledge Mage and the Archmage is what I have to kill. And I feel like I've got enough pieces to do that. Deadly Brew looks a little poor against them. I think I'm going to bring in the Servant for that. I think I can do that more consistently. We will see.
Yes, we will see.
All right, I'll give that a go. I'm still sad I didn't get the My Little Pony sleeves. I wanted them. think I'm supposed to be sitting on this. We know they have 2 creatures I have to kill. So let's make sure we can kill them. This is just here to trade off with random crap, and I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, being stacked on removal spells feels good to me.
Tricksy hobbitses.
We do need to be aware they have infinite combat tricks, but that's okay, because we can start sort of laying waste to things here in a minute. Which is good, because they've got a lot of things we're going to need to lay waste to. That's bloody terrifying. I don't know that I can compete with that power level. We can try to give it a start. Okay, we've identified that as generally something that I need to kill. Okay, they got a combat trick here, so we need to block in such a way that we don't get just wrecked otherwise. Because I think they've only got 2 combat tricks here and the game's over. But I do want to force them to use one. You can't have another. Okay. I'm going to take a big hit next turn. Although we've got a little bit of a truth to... Nope, they drew a mage duel. I was going to say we've got a little bit of a truth detector because they can't attack unless they have another combat trick. But if they're just going to draw a mage duel, they can. This is getting particularly rough. Oh, gods. Well, no, why? Ah! I can't even draw anything. Dude, mascot. exhibition is pretty good. Like, there was a possibility that we hit Lash of Malice there and could take out the Inkling and then probably still die. That was just too much crap for me to handle. Bit of a rough draw, too. That's all right. Like I said, we're kind of saying goodbye to Strixhaven throughout this draft. And in a way, getting run over by a poor draw into Mascot Exhibition is something I will remember from Strixhaven. We got to remember that game when there's a Strixhaven flashback in 2 years and somebody's like, hey, Travis, are you going to try it? I never got to play Strixhaven. Was it good? Like, no. I don't think the sets are necessarily bad, Wallet. Strixhaven is not my favorite set. There's a lot of people who love it. I still hold to the theory that there's some people who like high-powered sets because it feels boring to them to play Magic with vanilla tutus. What are you doing? You're not mage dueling. Reasonable number of cards in their deck. What you working with over there? I think this would be the hardest thing for me to beat if they resolved it. Do they think I made a mistake? So I didn't. Can't do this and cast fumes. But I can do this and cast fumes. Or just do this. Good morning, Techno Shaman. Alright, so they really like Expel. We can work with that. It does make Infused with Vitality significantly worse. Like, I think to the point where I probably don't want to play it. Because a lot of their removal was Expel. They've got a Mage Tool. It plays fine versus that, but against 2 Expels, I don't want that. Sphene! Thank you for the resub. Y'all spam some cats for Sphene90. Thank you very much, my friend. I hope that things are well in your world. I'd probably just be jamming the Servant again. It looks like it lines up versus most of the stuff we saw. I don't want Infused with Vitality against 500 Expels. And it's possible they only have 2. Like, the fact that it just doesn't do anything in that scenario, and that it's so easy to blow out. Like, say they have 3 mana up, and I've got a scenario where I could attack and use Deadly Brew as a combat trick. I'm just setting myself up to get 2 for 1. I can basically never attack and use Infused with Vitality unless they're completely tapped out. Whereas Village Rites, I don't have that problem. Like, if they're going to try to expel it there, I'm pretty happy about it. Or we could just let them expel something, but I just don't want to get 2 for 1. It's not perfect, but it'll work. No reason to play Cultivate here. We're not ramping anything, we're not splashing anything. I took it early thinking we might find something to ramp into or something that was worth splashing, but none of that ever happened. A little bit on the mana screwed side of things right now, but at least we've got a turn 2 and 3 play. We're not missing land drops. We're just missing green. Cultivate's one of those cards that I think a lot of people play when they shouldn't. If you're ramping and splashing, it's a no-brainer. If you're splashing, it's a no-brainer. If you're ramping, it's a no-brainer. If you're not really looking to do any of those things, it's kind of just like a bad divination. And I don't even always play divination. Which was a rough transition for me, because divination used to be a classic example of a card you would just always value and take highly. It's a pretty good link, Martin. I just peeked at the Discord to see how many people we had signed up. All right, so for viewer draft, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need one more person for the viewer draft. If anybody's available for that, sign up in advance. Don't give me a heart attack. It's at 1 Eastern. It is currently 11 Eastern, so 2 hours from now. I don't have to do anything but turn him sideways, eh? Well, there you go. So as far as saying farewell to Strixhaven, drafting a deck that looks okay and going 2-1 was most of my experience. There was the hidden Dimir deck, which was cool to kind of discover and get to play with, although difficult to get to work now as more people found out about it, which is generally the case with hidden decks. That'll do it for this YouTube video. So YouTubers, remember to like and subscribe. That makes the channel grow. The channel growing is good for you because it means I can produce more content. I am interested in doing some more Joy of Drafting videos, and I'm kind of thinking through how to do that. I had planned to work on some more once we hit 1,000 subscribers, which we're getting close to. So that's kind of a big deal. And you can also come check out the Twitch stream. There's more drafts that you're not seeing, and you could be seeing them live and telling me how bad I am in chat and playing Stream Raiders and having a good time at twitch.tv/Semulin. All right, we'll see you next time, YouTube.